think it's the last video request of the day. Old Cappy. I'm gonna go enjoy my Sunday afternoon. What's it look like outside? God, it's partly cloudy. Oh. All right. We got a lengthy one, kids. Hi, I'm a returning customer. Some background info to start off. 23-year-old male, LA college student. No debt, no kids, no girlfriends, no huge build. About $10K saved up. Still couch surfing for 2 years, earning a little over $2K a month, delivering food and studying in CC to become a professional accountant via State College in about a year from now. I have plans on playing for the school soccer team, so shut about ASU and Western Governors University online. Okay. Hope you get a scholarship for playing kicky ball, or as other people call it, poverty ball. That's busted your chops. I'm writing this message on my broken bed next to my alcoholic roommate who's peeing on the floor as I type this email. Living in the shithole made me very discouraged from continuing my personal goals, has made me very lazy to the point where I just wake up to go to work. My goal is to rehab my limbs and then weight train. When I exercise at home, my roommate's presence is intolerable. In fact, if I have anyone at home, I cannot exercise, do homework, or even blow off steam. If I go to the gym, it's because of the stupid virus. Hopefully it's closed because of the stupid virus. Hopefully this pandemic clears up in a month or two. I don't think it is. I really don't. I don't have a lot of conspiracy theories, but get locked into this, especially if you live in a Democrat-controlled state. Your governor is a Democrat. Get used to this being around till next year. For the past 2 months, I've made it my goal to find a private room with a month-to-month lease. I ended up going through 10 homes and found no place I seem to fit in. Managers want 6 months leases. I can't find a home with laundry, private parking, having friends over, privilege, and most importantly, living close to work. Dude, what? Laundry? You come from, when we go into it, you come from a horrifically disadvantaged background. There's no doubt about it. You can't find a home with laundry? You do what I do and you wash your clothes in the sink. That's what I would do. And that's what I did. So you don't need that private parking. What do you mean private parking? Do you need a private parking spot? Can't you park on the street? Having the friends over privilege. It doesn't sound like you got great friends if they're pissing next to you on the floor. And right, look, fuck what you want. What can you get? All right. You're in the worst part of your life. We just had another young man, parents all fucked up and all that other stuff. God, it doesn't, what you want, what you're going to get is two different things. You want to play, you have delusional expectations. You want soccer, laundry, private parking, and the ability of people to, you're poor. You don't have that right. That's not on the table. And given what a bad situation you're in, when we get to the rest of it, dude, I would be focusing on like just finding a clean, quiet apartment, all right, or a room, and what, no friends over, fine. Have your social life outside of that home. You need a place to sleep and study and focus, and lift weights if you want. After searching for so long, I began to get easily stressed out by the mere thought of how things are going better for my friends than me. One is flying around the U.S. as a co-pilot, another works at Tesla, another is a CPA in New York, earning the big bucks. I bet they're not playing soccer, though. I'm competitive in nature. I feel I'm getting left behind. Well, I'm going to put that to bed. I said, well, what kind of background did these kids have, your friends? I mean, oh, yeah, good parent, da-da-da. How about yours? Nightmare. A fucking nightmare. You're basically on your own at 16. Well, yeah, you're going to be behind. Yeah. You can't compete with that. That's like going into the boxing ring with like big metal weights on your hands and you can't punch as effective, and there's big metal weights on your feet. Well, yeah, you're not going to do as well. So I'd forgive yourself about that. You're never going to be that good. I mean, good is relative. Give it time, you can be, but not this early. And it's not that they had privilege. They just didn't have parents that were a bunch of fuck-ups. Which the lesson should be right now for a lot of people who are sending requests today, don't do what your parents did by being shitty parents. Okay? Make sure you can afford to have children or not at all. And if you do have the children, raise them. And then this nightmare ends. You don't put kids through this shit that your parents put you through. But you got a long way to go. Like we had the other guys in the National Guard, and he got kicked out of the family home at 17. He's helping raise his brother now. And he was guilty just like, oh, I didn't finish college. Well, how the fuck could you? You had to eat. You're throwing on impossible stuff right now. Like, well, I got to play soccer and I want to have this parking space. I know. How about you find a clean, quiet place? That's what you do. And you forgive yourself for not being, on par with your buddies at the age of what? You're 23. I mean, give it time, man. This is going to take at least 5 years to overcome. At least. Solution popped up in my head yesterday. I know I have an issue picking a new home for myself. I was wondering if I should get a 3-month apartment sublease for the sole purpose of rehabbing and working out, essentially kick myself into shape and discipline. There'll be no distractions or excuses that would kill my momentum to reach my goal. School doesn't start for another month, and school will entirely be online for the fall. Yeah, but can you play soccer? Is that even going to be a thing in not Florida, California? Like, get into shape, what, to play a game you're not going to play? School is be entirely on. I could save myself a whole hour from driving to and from work. And I'll make sure I have the house features that I've been waiting for so long. It looks like I'll be spending about $3,500 on rent in 3 months if I chose this road. And you bring home I thought somewhere you said you only make $2,000. Where's your take-home pay? Now we'll get to it. Oh, here it is. You make $2,000 a month delivering food. Okay, so you could afford this for 3 months, but it's going to cut into your savings. I don't think you need something that nice. You need to get away from your current roommate. You need to find a quiet place to go. Features. You know who looks for features? Rich people that can't afford it. My car started having problems and fear it will die soon. I think I'll buy another car to make sure it doesn't stop. I don't stop working. Hopefully just spend under $1,500 for a beater. Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe take your car in and see what needs fixing with it. Maybe that's cheaper. You're going to need a car. Now's not the time to be looking for fancy apartments. Another idea also popped into my head. My friend from the capital of Mexico, Mexico City, we know what it is, asked me to come over. Wait, that is the cap. No, I'm like, wait, it is not Monterrey. Monterrey is the second largest town, I think. Mexico City has to be. It's Tenochtitlan. Capital city of Mexico. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. I wonder why they changed it from Tenochtitlan to Mexico City. I guess they want to call it. I don't know what's wrong. Why Constantinople is Istanbul? What's the difference? Where'd it go? Go to Mexico City. Asked me to come over. His parents are engineers with many house properties. Their parents would lease me an apartment for $300 a month. Come to think of it, I haven't traveled in 17 years. I think I'm due for a vacation. I can learn to live by myself in a foreign country like how Roosh V mold myself in it. Well, Roosh was collecting royalty checks because of books he written. And he saved up money. You only have what, 10 grand saved up? If you want to go away for a month, you could. But what are you going to do for work? Can you just pick that stuff back up? I guess you can, delivering food and all. Only bad cause I won't earn money is if I travel. What do you think? Let me know your price. All right. I think you're due for a vacation if you want to go to Mexico for a year. Or a year, not a year. Sorry, for a month, just to take a breather. But it's not going to solve your problem. Now, if for whatever reason you were to find a good job down in Mexico, I don't know doing what, but maybe let's say you found a good job in Mexico. Then you could, can you even go to Mexico? I think you can't go to Mexico. I think they shut down the travel ban. I don't think Mexico will let United States people in. Well, let's say you could travel there. All right, just a month, and maybe you find a job. Well, okay. Well, if you get a job there and rent is $300 a month, you can make ends meet. You could go to school online. So you don't have to be in California. You have too high a tastes for your budget. And your tastes aren't that high. It's just your budget just sucks that much. Okay, you're going to play soccer. Have fun. Have fun being poor. Not that you're going to be rich if you don't play soccer, but I'd look and see if there's even going to be a soccer season. If not, well, yeah, maybe go to Mexico then. Go anywhere, which $300 a month is a tenth of what have you got to have to pay for a flight and everything though too. But yeah, then I would go to school online, maybe find a job in Mexico. You know, while you're down in Mexico, spend some time looking for rental places over in LA. See if you can't find a place that's cheap. So Payne said, I'm couch surfing and can leave whenever I please. All right, so you're not on a lease. All I have is clothes, books, and a bath caddy and a backpack for a quick leave. My friends, I had good parents who did set them on the right paths. I good parents to mine who were bad parents. I come from immigrant parents who were good parents up until I was 13. Before the bad parenting started, I was competitive athletes. My parents supported me. I had good habits, did well in middle school, and for the most part, sane. I now have toxic, religious, controlling parents that push me around. They have no experience how the real world works. I used to work with my parents doing janitorial work. When I didn't do a good job cleaning, my dad would chase me with a broom in his hands and sometimes throw it at me so I trip in the gravel. Magic dirt just solves all the problems in the world. Thank God I don't live with them anymore. They are tied to the church, heavily fell for a business marketing scheme, became self-improvement junkies. Living with them was emotional abuse and psychological torture. We're talking about them guilt tripping into religion. I was not able to reasonably talk to them anymore. Stop being, okay, all right, you got bad parents. I got it. Parents would say in the heat of the moment, we pay rent, so do as we say. Well, they're right there. There was a time when I did pay rent, but paying rent didn't buy the respect of my parents. Then you leave. Did I mention my dad owes me money? I helped my dad get a car lease under my name. He agreed to pay the monthly $500 and did so for 3 years. When it was time to return the car, I paid the return fee of $3,000 with credit cards. My dad said he would help me. He agreed to pay me $1,000, but he never did to this day. Okay, so now you know to leave. 19, broke down, emotional stress. Lost my mind, insanity for 6 years. Expected a different result, arguing over the same parental issues. Mind attacked me. I had to get therapy. Therapy didn't help at all. Lots of things bottled up. Can't even have a good time without intrusive thoughts of dad guilt trip. Yeah, I mean, because he was there the entire time. For the majority of your life, your parents were around. Still believe that somehow my parents are going to change for the better. No, they're not. Where you come from, greatest quote ever. Greatest quote ever. Where you come from, it's gone. Where you thought you were going to, weren't never there. And where you are ain't no good unless you can get away from it. And you all young, and especially you poor guys out there, you better get that in your head real quick. No one is coming to save you. I don't care to read any more about your dad. You read Bachelor Pad Economics, turned around my life. Awesome. Thanks, Cappy. I feel pumped up knowing I'm working my way up to this apartment. Thinking my own apartment will definitely relieve some stress and fear getting left behind. Can move on. Okay. I mean, dude, you're going to do what you want to do. I'm trying to be somewhat libertine because I think it'd be really good for your health to go visit your buddy and chill out in Mexico for a month. You know, maybe visit your culture if you got some family down in that area. Maybe you could find a job. Okay, $300 a month is a lot less than $3,500. But, you know, and then time school, it's going to be online. Go to school online. Enjoy Mexico. I think it's going to be a little warm down there, though. Isn't August really hot? I'm not familiar with Mexico City. I thought it was in a basin, and so it's probably pretty hot. I could be wrong. And if you find a job down in Mexico, you go to school online. Maybe you could play soccer down there. But renting an apartment for $3,500 a month, no. Your car's about to go on the fritz. You go buy a car. You go find a good place that's a nice room where you can have your, and see if you can do month to month. Make sure you have your own room where there's not someone peeing next to you, and you have you look, you're gonna have to spend a little bit of money. Not $3,500, but just, you know, some money, maybe $1,000 a month. You should be able to find a room. And just keep looking. 10 places is not a lot. It's not a lot. Go and spend the day down where you work. Get a bunch of leads. Go, where can I rent? Is there a place to rent here? Maybe even look into hostels and Airbnb. Maybe Airbnb has, sometimes you'll find cheap hotels. You know, they do monthly rentals. You might want to look into that. But yeah, man, you also have to go easy on yourself. There's no way The fact you haven't committed crime or knocked up a bunch of gals or you're in weight or on drugs or something, that's amazing. You're doing it on your own. I know it sucks, but yeah, I think a month vacation in Mexico, having a good time, get your bearings set straight, hang out with your buddy, maybe see what a normal family looks like. See if you can't find a job, but man, if you got to play soccer, go first. See if you can even play soccer this year. If you can't, there's your answer. Go to Mexico, have fun, relax. It's cheap. Find a job. Perfect your Spanish. That's not going to hurt anything. Learn to salsa dance. Find a nice chica bonita señorita. Take in some culture. I mean, the downtown looks pretty neat. Don't get shot. All right, there you go. What else we got? Himanshu Andi, 100 rupees. Thoughts on the 33% decline in GDP? Any idea when it might recover? Yeah, man, I saw that. I'm kind of excited about it, not in a happy or proud way, because that is the worst quarterly drop we've ever had on record. I was like, holy shit. And what I'm fascinated by about it is I don't see any of that translating out in the real world. Now, I know, unfortunately, for those of our brothers and sisters that are in the service industry, they're hurting mightily. I know a lot of places are closing down, but it's not in real estate. I just talked to my realty buddy. I'm like, is anything happening in real estate? He's like, no, we've had our best year ever. I'm like, are you kidding? And so, like I said before, I think it's really a bifurcated market. You're either essential or you're not. And the essential people are still buying houses. And the unessential people, which, not to slam on the millennials, they've already taken a big hit. They weren't in the market for buying stuff anyway. They had student loans, they're getting by, living at home, that kind of thing. So yeah, I guess the brew pub industry is really taking a hit. The bars are taking a hit. Oh, but man, 33%. I'm like, that's gotta be affecting other areas that I just haven't seen translated yet. And then any idea when it recovers? It will recover when every Democrat governor gets their head out of their ass and opens up their fucking economies. When we all stop acting like a bunch of fucking pussies over what is essentially a very bad flu. And even then, I got to take a look at it. Or we decide to okay, let's get the economy going. All old, frail, immunocompromised individuals, young kids, just don't go out, okay? You don't want to go to school? Fine, we're doing school online. But if you want to work. But that's until the predominantly Democrat governors allow the economy, allow people to go back to work, nothing's going to happen. Still, now it will be a new normal, it'll be a new low. 33%, that'll knock us down back into the 40s, maybe even the upper 30s and $1,000, like a per capita income, per GDP per capita. But anyway, no, and I should probably apologize because I sound a little flippant and too excited. People are really hurting. I'm like, yeah, I know, but for once, this economy is not affecting me. Like every fucking major, I don't know if you guys remember the .com bubble, that I ended up getting laid off. The financial crisis, that I ended up, ironically, and become a contractor. But I remember I remember during the .com bubble and the financial crisis, like my online and dance class revenue got halved. And then I'd have to go work security to kind of cover the gap a little bit there. So I got hurt back in the day. Now I don't got debt. In an ironic sense, everyone's going online. I'm in the one area, I guess, that things are okay or booming actually, because once we all had to stay at home, all you guys tune into the great and merciful Corona Chan, which we'll probably be doing tomorrow, Tuesday. I have got to pace my voice, guys. I've been working. I've been working so much. There's a lot of work. So for once, I'm kind of like, I guess it's not my time to suffer. I guess I suffered enough back in the day. But I won't lie, it pisses me off. And even though I know most people who are affected are probably Democrat, millennial, leftist types, it pisses me to fuck off because it's so anti-American. It's like, here, yeah, there's a virus. Yes, we should probably take precautions, but that doesn't mean shutting down the whole fucking economy, especially when it doesn't affect young people as much. I'm also some silver linings as I enjoy seeing the fact that we finally proved to these boomer fucks that we don't need to be there for them to see us work. We could do work from home. So that's good. I think rush hour is probably going to be a thing of the past. It's certainly going to be nowhere near as bad as it used to be. Certainly nowhere near as bad. And then what else? Yeah, people can work from home. There was another silver lining, but that escaped me now. But no, I'm getting pissed off just where I got to wear a fucking mask and you can't do this. And it's like, really? Because it's like I said, it's not American. Americans would have faced this down back in the olden days. Like, yeah, I guess it's all going to suck. Yeah, I guess we're going to, I guess we might lose some people. That's all right. It's the classical example. We've never seen it this close to, if it just saves one life, then let's spend trillions of dollars destroying the economy. I've never, humans have a financial value. A lot of humans have a negative financial value. By the way, didn't know if you knew. Human life is not precious. It's dirt cheap. There's 7 billion of you fuckers out there. And most of you are parasites. Most of you are lazy, no good fucks that just believe in magic dirt, want government to pay for things, and begrudgingly and tooth pullingly go to work when it's like, well, that's how you make your money. So now the average, whereas in the olden days, America, like, oh, fuck it. I guess we lost a couple people. That's too bad. So, and I have a feeling this 33% decline is going to lead to more suicides, but suicides have been on the way up. So what do I know? Vinny Rondo for $5. Thoughts on buying rental property during this time or wait for an economic crash to purchase one? Wait until the election. But housing prices haven't come down, Vinny. Unless you're in a unique market where they have. But I'll tell you this, Vinny, I would never buy rental property where I rent to humans again. Like, apartment built where humans live. Apartments, room, even Airbnb, because humans are just assholes. And they have this maybe Airbnb, but never like long-term lease. Because they think they're entitled to housing. Like, it's all right. It's all right. And whether or not it is, it's not, by the way. You're not entitled to other people's labor. The most expensive form of labor, of which was building a house, because that's the most expensive thing, is typically property. You're not entitled to other people's free lodging. But you tell that to a generation of NPCs that have been brought up by commie Marxist boomers and Gen X professors. Tell that to all those idiots in Seattle. I should deserve free stuff. Well, see, you got to understand. Then I might as well talk to this old camcorder. There's more intelligence than that. So I would, because there are legal protections. You see it happening in Minneapolis, where like now you got to take Section 8 applications. You don't have to prove them. You got to take them. I think they're denying people the building permits to build single-family homes in Minneapolis. You don't own your property and it looks like from the picture you're in a major metro area. So I absolutely would not rent to people. No, if you want to rent, you want to get a rental property, get into storage, because things don't have the same rights as people. I'm sure there's some laws, but if you want to get into real estate, that's what I would do. But then again, I don't know. You got to go to the library and get the RMI data on storage facilities. See if there's even profit to be had. But otherwise, if you want to invest in property, the safest way, remember the guy, just happened last week. There was that immigrant, because magic dirt works, who chopped off the head of his landlord with a samurai sword. What's not going to chop off my head? A box of Tilly's crap from her house, because she was a hoarder. All of her old newspapers won't wake up in the night and kill me. If you really want to get into real estate, I'd look at real estate investment trusts. That's what I would do. And even there, your dividend yield isn't that high. Vinny, if you got debts to pay off, like high interest debts, there you go. That's your highest rate of return. And it's zero risk. If you got a credit card, it's 12%. It's got a balance. Well, that's a 12% rate of return guarantee. Right? And there's no risk. You're the one that holds the risk in not paying them back. You're in Wisconsin. Oh, God, no. I wouldn't do that. All right. Anything else? We done? There we go. All right. Questions, answers. ASOConsulting.com. August is Reconnaissance Man month. Become a Reconnaissance Man this last month of summer. Travel the United States. Find out where you want to live before you go buy a house, because you fell in love and your girlfriend lives in New York City and you met online and it was a nice romance. And then she's like, I'll move out to Brooklyn with me. And then you're like, oh my God, Brooklyn sucks. And I wasted all this time in moving expenses and realtor fees. Well, then why don't you get this $12 book, whatever it is, called Reconnaissance Man, where I show you, look at all the charts and the maps. Can we see the maps? Maybe the maps weren't there. Where do the maps go? Maps are somewhere. Holding the right book. Oh, there they are. All the maps and the pictures. There's pictures of me. You can throw darts at them. There you go. Get that and save yourself tens of thousands of dollars. All right. See you guys later. Toodles.